Here's my Dr. Phil story. Every year, Doc and his family rent a yacht for 12 days in the Mediterranean, and that's their vacation. And it's the only way he can get away, you know, because he is the most famous person in America. He's the most recognizable face, 6'4", bald dome head, porn mustache. You can spot him from any fucking where. And because he seems so approachable on television, and he really is approachable, I mean, he's a sweetheart of a dude, but people are always, anytime he goes out in public, they're just, oh, what about this? And that's fine at first, but eventually it will eat the skin off your fucking bones if you can't walk out of your house without somebody going, hey, my brother-in-law's all fucked up in the head, and I was wondering if you could just sit out for just a second. Come back here, asshole! And that's exactly how it happens. I've seen it, and so that's what they do. Well, this summer, my wife and I went on vacation to France and Monaco, and I need a break too. Sometimes I do 140 cities a year. I do more dates than any other comic, more cities than any other comic working the day because I just love fucking doing it. And 20 minutes from now, nobody's gonna give a fuck about what I have to say. So. While they do, I believe I'll do a lot of shows. Hey. So we're in France and Monaco and having a great time, man. We're just I'm really in love with my wife. She's so talented. We have a fun life together, and we're there. And then one day the phone rings and it's Doc, and he goes, "Aren't you guys in Monaco?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "We're going to be in Monaco tomorrow. Why don't you come party on the yacht?" And I said, fuck yeah. Which is what you say if somebody says, you want to come party on the yacht? You go, fuck yeah. In fact, let's try it one time. You want to come party on the yacht? Fuck yeah. I don't have a yacht. Anyway. So I was like, yeah, fuck, this is great, man. We're excited. We were down there. We were staying at the Fairmont Hotel overlooking the little yacht harbor in Monaco. Very cool place. And we were down there looking at the yachts the day before, going, wouldn't it be cool if you knew somebody that had one of these things? You could just hop on it and fucking throw the fuck down. And it's everybody's yacht, man. This is yacht heaven. This is Steve Wynn's yacht, Prince Albert of Monaco's yacht. This is that Russian dude with the tiny giraffes. Anyway, they're coming in at 6:30 the next evening, so the next morning we wake up, or next afternoon we wake up and we go have this amazing lunch, and we're drinking this fucking great wine from France, probably. That'd be my guess if I had to guess, and I did have to guess. France. And we were just having a great day, sex, and just a fucking, and then we go down to the fucking harbor that evening at 6:30. Sure enough, Doc's backing in a 165-foot yacht. I'm not sure that's how they do it, but. Maybe. So the only way to get on the yacht is to walk on this gangplank to get on the yacht. And I'm walking on the gangplank going, nobody's stopping me. And we get on the yacht, and there's our friends from California halfway around the world. Are you fucking kidding me? How much fun are we having? I'm hugging everybody. There's a bunch of people on the yacht. Anytime I'm hugging you and I'm in a strange place, what I'm really doing is looking over your shoulder trying to find a bar. That's why I'm turning you. And I see the bar, and right in the dead front center of the bar is a bottle of Famous Black Grouse, which is a scotch I started drinking when I was in Scotland for the Open Championship at Turnberry. And you start looking at what the Scots drink, and that's what they drink. And I'm like, oh, fuck yes. And they had a bottle of it on the fucking, it's kind of hard to find. And the bartender poured me a big old glass of whiskey, way bigger than this one. And I'm like, I'm in such a great mood. It tasted better than I'd ever tasted any fucking scotch ever. I'm like, oh, good Lord. What is that? That tastes like butter, honey, aged in Lindsay Lohan's pussy. It tasted so good, I decided to skip dinner and just have a couple more of them. I'm gonna scare me up another one of these. That's one. How about one more? All right. I hadn't had a drink since lunch. I was fucking thirsty. I was going at it, you know. And Doc noticed I was really drinking hard, and he goes, "Boy, you're really drinking tonight, Ron." I said, "Yeah, Doc, some nights it just tastes like spring water." He goes, "Why don't you just drink spring water, Ron?" I don't know, I'm not a fucking doctor. So this is going on for fucking hours. Now they really love Margot. They really love my wife, Margot. Margot's sung on Dr. Phil's show a few times, and they go everywhere to see her. And Margot's a 4.5 octave classically trained opera singer that sings rock and roll and jazz and whatever. She's been singing here for years. And Robin McGraw loves to goad my wife into singing, and my wife loves to be goaded into singing, so they make a great little fucking team. And so we're on the back of this yacht, and Robin goes, "Come on, Margot, sing for us." And Margot gets up. There's people on the back partying on all these yachts, and there's bars on the pier, people out there. And Margot gets up and she sings. They love jazz in France and Monaco. They have jazz clubs all over the place. And she gets up and she sings a jazz standard at full voice, which I don't get to hear her sing at full voice. She sings around the house, but not at full voice. And when she sings at full voice, it makes me cry. And oh no. And she finishes the first song at full voice, and people stand up on the back of all these yachts and start cheering. They go, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Oh, how cool is this, man? They really dig jazz." I forgot how much they dig jazz. She gets up and sings another song, fucking screaming. And then people are gathering up around the back of the boat. And by song 4, there's 400 people behind the boat listening to her sing. You could hear a pin drop, just like this, pin drop. And she's just killing it. And I have a little secret. I am fucking hammered, man. I am so drunk. I can't even believe it my fucking self how drunk I am. I'm like, Jesus Christ, whoa. And I'd get a drink and I'd take one little sip out of it and I'd talk to somebody, I'd look back and it's empty. I'm like, "Anybody else drinking out of this glass?" Miscalculation. Anyway, she does, I don't know, 7 or 8 songs, and she goes, "Okay, guys, that's enough." And she sits down, and Doc goes, "Well, Ron, you want to do something?" Now, I got to preface this with he's on vacation with his best friend and head lawyer and his wife, Mary Pat, and they're Baptists from Dallas, and they're a little fucking straight. And they're about to find out my secret. About 20 years ago, I was doing a bit that was so vile that I only did it for about a week, and I just quit doing it. I'm like, this is not the direction I want to take my crowds or my show. And I have no idea why I picked that night to dust her off and take her for a spin. Yachts are pulling up anchor on both sides of us as fast as they can pull them up. They're leaving the harbor so fast there's a surfable wake. There's a stampede of tiny giraffes diving off the pier, swimming towards the ocean in certain death. People are pulling their kids off the pier. I went, "I don't think they hurt me. I'm going to do it again." Doc goes, "That's enough out of you, Ron." And Margot's tapping me out. You ever been tapped out? Come on, baby, it's time to go. She's seen it. "Come on, honey, let's just go back to the hotel. It's time for us to go. Come on, baby. Baby, let's just go back to the hotel. Come on, Ron." And I speak fluent drunk. That means, "I don't know why you want to leave. I'm having a perfectly good time." Turns out there was a consensus. I'm like, okay, I'll leave. Now, the only way to get off the ship is to walk back off that gangplank, and at the end of the gangplank, there's an 18-inch drop-off, and my wife's in front of me, Margaret's in front of me, and I get to the end of the gangplank, Doc goes, big step, Ron. I said, thanks, Doc, thinking I'd made a big step towards something. Fuck, I don't know. He's a big psychologist, not me. It's amazing how much speed you could pick up in 18 inches. It's nothing like falling over on the same level that you're already on. I slammed down to that fucking pier. I landed square on this elbow, dislocated this shoulder, put a 4-inch gash down the back of my arm, and I was so drunk I just bounced off that pier. Fade to black. I wake up the next morning with the shoe buddies. All I can do is lay there in bed and go, shoe buddy. I can't move my shoulder. Shoe buddy. My shirt stuck to my arm with blood and giraffe hair and whatever the fuck else you find on a pier. Shoe buddy. I have a wet Jolly Rancher in my armpit. Sour apple. Had to cut it out with a pair of scissors. You almost can't eat them after that. Shoe buddy. I slowly opened my aching fucking eyes. And there's Margot. What happened? You got really drunk last night, Ron. What did I do? Well, you did the tits fucking Mamie Eisenhower story. Did Mary Pat laugh? Mary Pat left is what Mary Pat did. Shoe buddy. You think they're going to invite us back over to party on the yacht today? Because I don't know what's going to happen now, Ron. I don't know. Walks out of the room, slams the door. And I just start berating myself. I'm like, why do you do that, Ron? Why do you get so drunk it ruins things for other people? Why can't you just drink like a regular goddamn person? Is that too much to ask? You have a wonderful son and a beautiful wife, a great career. Why don't you make some changes in your life that'll make a difference in the long run? And about then the phone rang and it was Doc and he goes, you guys gonna come party on the yacht? And I said, fuck yeah! Had the weirdest things happen lately. I just fly from LAX to Atlanta to see some lawyers and a dentist, the combination platter of wonderful days. And my plane was broken, and when my plane's broken, my friends do not give a shit. They're like, oh, poor baby. Is your plane broken? You have to take a commercial flight like every fucking buddy else. But it's not like it used to be, or either that or I'm losing touch, because I'm standing in line, I got a first class ticket, and I get up to the front of the line, and there isn't anybody there. It's just a kiosk with a computer terminal, and I'm not good at computers, and I don't want to touch this thing because it's got grease and dirt, and what I can only pray to Jesus is meringue. But it works pretty good, you know. I swipe my card through there and up pops a diagram of the aircraft and it shows all the seats on the plane and it shows which ones are occupied so you can choose your own seat. And that is almost a great idea. What would make that a great idea is if there was a photograph of the person sitting in that chair. And about a 5-minute bio clip telling you a little bit about them and what their breath smells like. Right, because I picked my seat and I'm in first class, so as soon as I walk into the cabin, I can see my chair, and sitting right next to me is a big fat fuck. Now I know I'm heavy, but I'm not a big fat fuck. This guy was a big fat fuck, and part of him is in my chair. And I don't know if it's part of him I can sit on. Hey, I've got a little tip for the morbidly obese, and I don't mean to sound cruel, but once you get to 550 pounds, stay home and go for the record. I'll sponsor you. Write tatersalad.com on your gut, and I'll send peaches over there. Peaches? Why wouldn't I send pizzas? I'll send peaches in a salad. But where would be the comedy, Mr. White? Oh, so you're all hung up about that, huh? Okay, I'm just going to try to do that line right, just in case we decide to do it that way. I'll send pizzas over there. Oh, that is funny. He said pizzas. Oh, Mr. White, boy, he's rich tonight. I get to Atlanta and I check into the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and the next morning I go to take a shower and there's no hot water. And I call the front desk and I tell the girl at the front desk, I said, there's no hot water. And the girl at the front desk said, sometimes there's no hot water. Didn't I just tell you that? I said, I've stayed in $20 a night motels where water was so hot you could cook your nuts with it. He goes, well, every once in a while everybody will wake up at the same time and they all take a shower at the same time and we just run smack out of hot water. You guys didn't think about that. They thought about it at the Motel 6. But that whole concept of people wake up in the morning with shit to do got right by the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. So I take a nice cold shower. And then I got to go meet with these lawyers. Now, I hate lawyers. I just can't stand them, and I hate them worse than you do, no matter how much. Have you ever seen video of that guy shooting his lawyer, and his lawyer's trying to hide behind that little tree, and he just keeps shooting? That's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I've got that on my video iPod, and if I just need a chuckle sometime during the day, I just hit the play button. Play, pow, 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 ha, 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 ha. Play, pow, 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 ha, 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 ha. Play, pow. I do that till I come. Then I got to go to the dentist. You see how my day's shaping up. Cold shower, lawyers, dentist. The trifecta of fucked up day. And I couldn't eat because of what I had to do there. So now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Before I finish this story, will admit that I'm in a foul mood. My mouth is starting to hurt, and I haven't eaten all day. And I'm going to go eat lunch at this place called the Clubhouse. It's at Lennox Square Mall in Buckhead. And I used to eat there all the time. I live in both cities, and I pull up. Now, all this out here used to be just regular parking, but now the whole thing is valet parking. So you can't just park your car and go get some food. You have to wait for this little prick in a little red truck to wake up. But he isn't going to wake up because he's got on headphones and mirrored sunglasses, and he's looking the other direction, watching these two girls walk down Peachtree Boulevard. And I can tell by the whole scenario that they're not going to be out of his line of sight for 20 minutes. There's nothing going to get in the way. So I'm like, fuck, do your job. And I decided, well, I'll just park the car myself. And the only space I saw was right next to his truck. And I'm going to park the car myself. And then once he sees I'm going to park the car myself, he jumps out of his truck and he gets militant. And he jumps in front of my Range Rover, and he puts his hands on the hood, and he goes, nobody parks their own car in this parking lot. I park the cars in this parking lot. Well, I rolled down my window and very politely said, get out of my fucking way. He goes, nobody talks to me like that. You can't park your car in this parking lot. And I said, fuck you. He goes, I'm calling the police. What's your first and last name? I said, it's fuck you. It's F-U-C-K, capital Y-O-U. Fuck you. That's my name. He gets on his radio and calls the Dalai Lama of all parking lot attendants, who comes squealing up in his little red truck. Apparently they give them to him. He hops out of the truck like he's gonna do something. He immediately recognizes me, and you see this big, oh shit, wash over his face. He literally shoves this kid out of the way and starts apologizing. He said, Mr. White, I am sorry. I said, listen, this kid's not doing his job. He's an insolent little piece of shit, and he needs to have his ass reamed. He goes, Mr. White, he's going to have his ass reamed by me and my boss's boss. And I was like, well, I had no idea the chain of command went that deep in the parking lot. He said, Mr. White, let us take your Range Rover. We'll wash it for you. We'll fill it up with gas. We'll park it, no charge. I said, don't park it here. I don't want this little prick to key it. He said, we'll park it on the other side. And I said, fine. So I go have a nice lunch and take more pain pills. Getting a little better mood. Just had my gums scraped, you know. So I walk outside and my Range Rover is shining like a new penny, and I hop in and I fire it up and it's full of gas, and I could have left. But instead I drove back over there where that kid was. I rolled down my window and he rolled down his window, and I went, how'd that work out for you? Pretty good? And here's the moral to that story. Don't fuck with me when I hadn't been drinking. Pulitzer Prize-winning author Norman Mailer died last year at the age of 84 years old. For the last 60 years of this man's life, he drank to excess every day. He was married 6 times. He smoked pot. He stabbed his second wife. And I've never read one of his books, but I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan. We have a beautiful son. His name is Marshall. I named him after an amplifier. Almost named him PV. Come here, blah punk, you little woofer. Get over here. My son's 5 years old. My son thinks 5 years old is a very cool age to be because that's the coolest age he's gotten to. His favorite thing about being 5 years old is he's old enough to wear a seatbelt. That's his biggest visible step towards manhood so far in his eyes, you know. He's strapped in the truck just like his daddy, and he thinks that's great. I think it's great, too, because I drive a four-wheel drive truck, and I learned this about four-wheel drive trucks. It doesn't really matter how big the motor is or how big the tires are. Your macho days are over when you strap a car seat in the front of that bad boy. You just can't show it off to your buddies, you know what I mean? You can't make yourself go, what, that? That's got the Vortec V8 running 285 horsepower. Yeah!
That's a man-at-the-walk power winch. That'll pull 28 tons right out of the ditch. Yeah. That's a play school car seat with the Big Bird steering wheel attachment right there on it. That's Bert on the blinker, Ernie on the windshield wiper. That's Big Bird in the middle. You can honk that fat bastard if you want to. Hell, in 2 weeks, I'll have the Cookie Monster flip mirror. Back ordered it on me. I don't know how to drive the truck anymore. I bought this big 2-story custom van to tour in, and it's kind of neat. It's got the James Bond couch in the back where you push a button, and the couch in the back automatically turns into a bed. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I finally got something over those Mercedes-Benz driving in-laws of mine. You know what I mean? When I first bought the van, I was real proud of it, and I took it straight over to my brother-in-law's house to show it off because he's such a prick. He takes one look at my new van and goes, I can't believe you didn't buy a Mercedes-Benz. They don't make a van. They hate it when you do that. He goes, Ron, I don't think you fully understand the intricacies of Mercedes-Benz engineering. Why, I've got the 3-inch windshield wiper that keeps my headlight clean in a rainstorm. I got a place to fuck your sister. I don't know why they don't like me. Bet you wish you had one of these. It's a kit. Kidding. I don't want to screw up good whiskey. Tasty. Actually, that was all bullshit. I just got a divorce. I just wanted to do those 3 jokes before I told you. And I'll tell you what went wrong, and because I feel like I can be honest with you folks, and you won't judge me, or maybe you will. I don't care. But I'll tell you, it's very, very difficult to marry out of your class. I come from a lower middle class family. My daddy worked his ass off his whole life for not very much, and that does not make you better than me. You know what I mean? My dad was a good man. And, right. And they're always going to just look down their nose at you like you're supposed to be carrying some piss bucket for them or something. And if you're not willing to carry the piss bucket, it ain't going to work. And she got convinced in her crazy head that I had sex with this girl in Columbus, Ohio. And I did, and I'll tell you why. When you enter into a monogamous relationship with somebody, you usually do it at a point in the relationship when you're having a lot of sex. So you're willing to sign the papers. I'll only have sex with you, ever, 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 ever. Well, if that person stops having sex altogether, why, you find yourself in quite a pickle. I'm a pretty good dog, but if you don't pet me every once in a while, it's hard to keep me under the porch. I'm not as flexible as a real dog. And I'll tell you what happened, too. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I had been laid 3 months. 3 months. You can't go 3 months without having sex with me. I'll go have sex with somebody else. I know. I've seen me do it. I did a show one night. I came off stage. There's a gorgeous woman, maybe 35, 40 years old, long black dress, slid up to her waist. Gorgeous. Give me a second. Gorgeous. And I walk off stage. She goes, I thought you were hilarious. I want to buy you a drink. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm married. She goes, I didn't ask you if you want to have sex, big boy. I asked you if you want to have a drink at my place. I'm like, all right. Well, you know that little guy that sits on your shoulder that reminds you of your prior commitments and your that guy. He hadn't been laid in 3 months either. He was speechless for like 20 minutes, and he was like, "Suck her titty." I was gonna. I'm having a three-way with my conscience. As soon as the whole thing's over, he's back at his post. "That was wrong, mister." Like, hey, 20 minutes ago, you were beating off on my shoulder, monkey boy. I hate him. He smokes pot. He burned a hole in my other jacket. Spending a ton of time in Los Angeles. I learned things when I go to LA. I learned this. They have bikinis now made out of seashells. I didn't know that. And I also didn't know this. If you're ever walking down the beach and you see a girl dressed in a bikini made out of seashells, and you pick her up and hold her to your ear, you can hear her scream. Who'd have thunk it? I thought I'd hear the ocean, but not over that woman. Hush, ma'am. She was a wiggler. LA changes people. I got a buddy of mine from Houston. He's a comedian. Moved to LA 6 months ago. 6 months in LA. Don't know. 6 months in LA. Now he's a vegetarian, a humanitarian, environmentalist. You know, great. If you're here tonight and you're a vegetarian, shut up. You're not going to recruit me. I did not climb to the top of the food chain to eat carrots. It's not even that good for you. You ever see a healthy-looking vegetarian? They look like shit. They're all plump and gray because their bodies become intolerant of things they need. And I'll give you an example. I'm on the way to the Melrose Improv in Hollywood to do a set with my buddy, and he says this, and I quote, "I feel nauseous and I have a headache. I think that vegetable soup I had for lunch must have had beef broth in it." I didn't know what to say. Your system's kicking back broth? You're a manly man, aren't you? Why are you a vegetarian? I asked him, and it wasn't even because meat was bad for you. He said that raising cattle was bad for the planet, and cow flatulence in the ozone, and the clearing of land for the raising of cattle. What are you doing to help the environment?